I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. Thanks for joining me, guys. Guys, I got a story and a half to share with you. Broadcasting here from Phoenix, Arizona, but man, do I have a story and a half I need to share with you guys. And it has to do with the video I posted last night as the mass exodus discussion. And there was a comment on the video, so let's go to Article Scan here. So here it is, guys. This is Article Scan. And this is some of the videos I've made here. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I usually upload something every day, and I do have two live streams. Two live streams every week if you want to call in and discuss either housing or Mike in the Night is more controversial on Saturday nights. You could set your reminders here, and you could see past shows here of Mike in the Night and trends in the housing market. Okay, so remember the video I did yesterday? Massive exodus escaped New York. Well, New York is feeling the pinch. Affordability levels aren't there, and it has a lot to do with foreign investing coming in and buying up the country. Now, I've been covering foreign investing coming in and buying up the country for Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and hit and miss California and Seattle. Seattle got completely bought up when Vancouver put up the foreign buyers tax, and Vancouver, Canada, everyone went down to Seattle, King County, and they were assuring investors that if they put a foreign buyer's tax on, they could win it in the courts. So basically, what they're doing is they're bringing in more offshore money into the United States to buy you guys out. I live in Canada. The average home in Canada, the average teardown within 3 hours of a major city, well, 2 hours of a major city, is $800,000 to $1 million, where the average person takes home after tax. You don't want to know what we take home after tax, but it's happening now. It's happening in America, and it's this huge takeover, and it all stems to money laundering and dirty shadow flipping with luxury properties. Shadow flipping is a big thing right now in the States, and it's happening right now, right under everybody's noses. Okay, so this is the comment here. So I talked about I was a statistics myself. I was a statistic, and I'll show you why. In Canada, we had this happening. Canada wants more Chinese students and tourists, immigration minister says. So Canada was bringing in 500,000 per year. It's right here in black and white on Canadian news media that's actually sponsored by the Canadian government, by taxpayers. But 500,000 per year, and opening more offices with taxpayers' money could compete for Chinese worker students and lucrative tourist business. So basically, this is what happened to us in Canada and Australia and New Zealand. And then my statistic is right here. This is my statistics. Here we go. Aboriginals, this is from the Vancouver Sun. Aboriginals and whites leaving Metro Vancouver. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, have left in the last 5 to 6 years, and we're moving into the interior, and we're propping up the prices here. We're bringing up the prices here. We're making it more expensive in these smaller towns, and we're not really well liked when we move to these smaller towns. I'm not trying to change the ways. I try to keep it simple as much as I possibly can. So now what's happening now? That's my statistic. I had to leave because I'm not spending $1.4 million on a complete teardown. Now, what's happening in Arizona? Well, this is from a comment here on the last night's video. I'm getting ready to be a statistic. Arizona is completely unrecognizable from what it was 10 years ago. Californians have changed our state. We went from being a reliably conservative state to being pretty left. Arizonans can't afford to live in Phoenix. There you go. That's how it starts. Where people of the born and raised in their own state can't afford to live in their own cities, right? So now they all live in poorly built cookie cutter houses way outside the inner city. And that's what's happening here. Meanwhile, all of the traditional Arizona neighborhoods in town have all been bought up by Californians. Now, why are the Californians all of a sudden? Well, Californians are facing a massive affordability issue, right? You know how many homeless intensities there are in California. And a lot of those people are vets, and they get pensions, and they could own something small, something tiny to get them by. But because they don't have $3,000 a month to pay for a studio and apartment, it's not going to fly. Same thing in New York, right? Arizonans can't compete with the exodus, and we have been forced to live in the shadows. Homelessness used to be limited in certain areas. Now every street corner has panhandlers. These major corporations have been establishing in Arizona in order to escape California taxes and regulations, and they are bringing their workers with them. So this is a huge issue because now it's changing the fabric, right? What happened with Canada? Well, what happened with Canada and Australia, same thing. Let me just, give me a second here, guys. You want to see this. So here it is, guys. So what happened is Vancouver has been transformed into China. So it's become more Chinese restaurants, Chinese, local people are Chinese now. The culture gets brought over, it gets embedded, just like when the colonists, why do you think they speak Portuguese in Brazil? Because the Portuguese were there for 400 and something years, right? It's, you know, so they embed the culture, embed the cost of living, embed the changes start to happen, and there it is. There's a larger share of Chinese residents, and there's the percentages going up. Look at San Francisco, Oakland, look Los Angeles, look Seattle. All of these are what we're talking about here. See, it's again, and this is from a few years ago. This article is from a few years ago. There it is. June 5th, 2019. It's not that long ago, but still, look at this. Percentages are moving up. So 8% of Los Angeles, or 10% of Los Angeles. Los Angeles has so many people. 10% of Los Angeles is a lot of people. It's probably the population of California is the population all of Canada. So when you see those numbers like down here at the bottom in the US, it's actually higher than what it's showing. Look at Vancouver. Look at Toronto. And then our two major cities are gone. Canadians are finished with our two cities. And now look at it, the whole West Coast and New York. And in this video, we're talking about New York. And that's what's happened to us, right? But don't worry, it ain't going to stop there because it goes into this article. And we brought this up in the New York article. Canada will be in a recession without money laundering. $200 billion were caught. Then our Liberal government shut down the investigations. So we got from 2011 to 2015, we got $200 billion. That includes reinvestment and typical layering and integration of processes of money laundering. So layering is very popular with the mafia, but when it comes to bringing money and parking it in your country, it actually does more damage that way because when people are layering money and opening a business front to layer their money, they're actually paying their taxes and contributing to the infrastructure. Unfortunately, that's not what's happening. So that's a big issue. And now they're shadow flipping homes back and forth to the same person with two account numbers or two corporate numbers are flipping houses between themselves, but it's the one person that's flipping it between two corporations. And that's how they launder hundreds, if not billions of dollars. They raise the capita by selling fentanyl and fentanyl and all this other crap that gets shipped in from China or through the States up to Canada from China. There's factories there that are owned by the Chinese Communist Party that basically make the drugs and then have them for ship. So here it is. This is from a comment here from the video. Now let's go here. So multiple offers and bidding wars return to California's luxury market. Woo, with COVID. There it is. Multiple offers and bidding wars return to California's luxury market. This is from 3 days ago. So there it is, guys. Actually, this is longer than 3 days ago. Today is the 17th, so 9 days ago. I'm sorry. Multiple offers and bidding wars return to California's luxury market, and they're all going to be left empty. A majority of them will be left empty unless people are fleeing China for good. Despite a severe economic downturn in many sectors, California's real estate market is so high. Founding partners of whatever, in 29 years selling full-time in the desert, I have never been so busy. Buyers are very serious right now, even though we can't hold open houses and properties are selling as soon as they are listed with multiple offers. Yep. Top producing agents with over $100 million in total sales volume. Our inventory is running low and the upper end, or we would be seeing even more sales, she adds. So did they say who's buying these properties? Fueling this luxury boom are people leaving those urban areas for traditional resort markets. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Clients choosing Tahoe because they can find work from home, and okay, that could be a reason why. That could be a reason why. I believe that. Heading to Southern California brokers, they report hotter than hot market. So again, multiple offers above $150,000, $2,850,000 asking price. The average American proper could not get into this. So this is what was happening in Canada 10 years ago when it started in Australia. Canada also, okay, guys living in America, listen to me. Listen to me. Canada, Australia, UK, and New Zealand were fighting for more Chinese investors. These countries were fighting 500,000, 200,000, 800,000 investors to come in per year. It's lucrative business, they call it. The locals that live here, they couldn't care less about the Canadian proper. They're not worth anything. Okay, so let's go here. Chinese buyers expand their reach in the U.S. housing market as the middle class gets in on the act. So Chinese buyers have been the top foreign buyers in both units and dollar volume of residential housing for 6 years straight, according to the National Association of Realtors. 6 years straight. So this corresponds to the other graph that we saw. More middle-class Chinese buyers are searching for lower-priced homes, and they are using mortgages much more often. While California is still a favorite among Chinese buyers, they are moving into markets like Texas, Georgia, and Florida. So I did do the article for you guys that Florida is getting bought out by foreign investors. They're coming in tour buses. Somebody emailed me. They're coming in tour buses. They don't live in Florida. And hold on, guys, living in America. Living in America. Here you go, guys. Now listen to this. Well, do they live in Florida? No, they don't live in Florida. They're just buying up properties and leaving them empty, or one day have to force to rent them, or whatever. There's stories that I have. Okay, so if you're living in America, listen to this. So I got in touch with one guy that owns property in Sydney, Australia. Okay, I'm reading this off my notes. He owns 596 units, mixed housing, condos, 596 units from China, from mainland China. And he's never been to Australia. Wah! Okay, hold on. There's one lady who lives in mainland China that owns 146 apartments in New Zealand. And she's never been to New Zealand. We have one guy here who owns 196 apartments in Vancouver. And he's never been to Vancouver. There's another guy here who owns 531 units in the Greater Toronto area, and he's never been to Toronto or Canada. So this is going to happen in America. Living in America. I just hope America gets a governance in there with the stroke of a pen and fixes this problem, because it's displacing Americans left, right, and center. All right. So lots of Californians moving to Arizona. So this is a lot of Californians that are moving to Arizona are American proper. Born and raised in America, wherever. I don't care what culture. I don't care anything. I care about, like, you're born in America, you're an American proper, you have a future, you study in America. That's what I mean by American proper, right? So Californians have been beating a path to the Grand Canyon state and moving to Arizona for more than the last decade, but it's not exactly been a one-way street. While 500,000 people moved from California to Arizona, just over 308,000 people were moving the other direction. So state-to-state migration. This is what they're saying here. I don't know about that. Unless people have some, I don't know, unless they want to throw their money away. Arizona boom draws Californians, and it changes the political hue. Again, you're going to have, so this is from March 15, 2020. It's not an old article. 32-year-old software salesman lists various predictable reasons for his move to Scottsdale from San Francisco Bay Area. He likes the sun, golf, and lower income taxes, but beneath all, it's something bigger, which is the feeling that Arizona has welcomed him in ways that California, where he grew up, did not. So he grew up in California. Wow. There were certain expectations to come into after graduating from college and getting $90,000 a year job, and one is that you won't be paying $1,800 a month for a bedroom in a backyard cottage. So again, people are moving because of affordability issues. And not affordability, you could make like that other article that I made, the guy makes 180 grand US and he had to move to Wyoming or something. Arizona is the second relocation destinations for Californians. Again, Americans, one of the most mobile nations in the world, according to Global Study. They're the most mobile nations because one of the most mobile nations because they could intermove. America's like 10 countries in one country. America is because the amount of cities, infrastructure, highways. Canada, Texas has more cities than Canada, like big cities, than Canada and Australia put together. That landmass is enormous. The likelihood of America resident changing his address within 5 years stands at 45.9%. So this is a migration pattern that's been happening, but a lot of people are leaving California. So they're trying to make up ways or stories. My view, Arizona needs to develop long-term plan for housing affordability. Now here it is. They're preparing for housing affordability. Now this is why. Because all the Arizona proper, born and raised, that are on wages in Arizona proper won't be able to buy in their own thing. I've seen it happen in Vancouver. I've seen it happen in Toronto, and New Zealand with the Kiwi build, where they were going to build housing for New Zealand. They were going to build 100,000 homes. They ended up building 13. Now the problem with affordable housing is it leads people down that path of darkness where, well, I could afford my house. I don't need a better job. I don't need to work harder. I don't need to be so much more productive. I work enough. That's what happens. If productivity goes down in people and they don't want the next best thing. The problem with affordable housing is it leaves people, I believe, in better paying jobs or better businesses or better innovation to allow people to pick the house they want to in the city they were born and raised in. And that's the problem. They're not getting that. Now, just like every other major city, they need to plan for affordable housing. And the taxpayers pay on it, and then this becomes a vicious circle. And Arizona student housing properties face leasing pressures as pandemic prevails into fall semester. Again, the pandemic. So what's happening here? This is happening all over the Commonwealth where I don't know if there's a lot of Chinese students in Arizona, but there's a lot of Chinese students in Australia. They're not coming in. And a lot of people are pressured to put that's why you have rentals on the market. That's why in New York, you have so many rentals on the market. Because the Chinese students that come in and get their education are no longer paying the rents there. Same thing in Vancouver. You're seeing so many properties come on for rentals. Entrepreneurs are buying properties and then renting them out to students 6 months of the year and making bang for the buck. But now that entrepreneurship is falling apart. They try to Airbnb. That doesn't work because no one's traveling because of COVID. So that's that. Affordable housing coming to South Phoenix. There you go. That's it right there. There's the plan. I can't open this. So there it is right there. It's the plan, and they're doing it. They're bringing Phoenix never needed affordable housing because Phoenix was an affordable state to live in. All you have to do is get a job, get off your rump, make some money, be productive, raise a family, be a good American. That's all you needed to do. But now they're looking at affordable housing in Phoenix. Homes are selling faster than new listings are coming on the market. There it is, guys, right there. Increases in home prices are accelerating because there still aren't enough homes on the market, industry sources report. Real estate broker Redfin tracked July sales reports and the median home price rose 8.2%, and that's how much it rose in Toronto, about 8% in Toronto housing. With COVID, and the average house is already over $1 million in the city of Toronto. Over $1 million for a teardown. Real estate broker, prices went to $323,000, and that's still affordable for the, that's still in consideration what we pay in Canada. That's super affordable. And meanwhile, the median sale price, 16.8% in Birmingham, surged, and an increase of 16.5% in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and 14.3% in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is skyrocketing. Again, a lot of buses there doing tours. And that's what's going to happen. It's coming to a city near you. And housing market rocked by low inventory ignites bidding wars. Again, bidding wars. So now I did a video on my if you go here, if you type in, I guess, bidding wars. See, rest in peace auctions, bidding wars, goodbye foreign investing. Look at that. If you look at the image of people bidding, American bidding wars coming to a city near you. I predicted this 2 months ago, where you're going to see rural America coming to rural America right here. And then Vancouver housing crisis, rental bidding wars. That's from 3 years ago. Let me see, housing bidding in my town, in my small town of 7,000. Montreal, Quebec, foreign buyers, housing disaster ahead, bidding wars. New Zealand poverty crisis, bidding wars. Canada talk from housing for Montreal. Now they're rent bidding. They're bidding on rent now. Rip-off townhouse sales. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this in New Zealand. Look at this house. You can see, I don't have to expand this to show you this house. Rip-off townhouse sells for $1.678 million. And that's I think that's in New Zealand. $1.6 million. That's what people are paying in the Commonwealth for homes. So in America, when they're saying, oh, I'm paying $380 for a house, look, that's not that bad. Toronto, condo crash, Vancouver, Toronto, Vancouver today, Toronto tomorrow. So I've been covering this. I want to see if I have that one for Florida. Let's see if it comes up here. I think it was in the trends in the housing market. Florida history, 50% crash in crisis. Housing relocation from California to Florida. I've done a lot of videos on this stuff. So if you guys want to check out the channel, please check out the channel. Be part of the channel. I have a few live shows if you guys want to be part of it and call in. If you go here to my channel, I'll show you guys what it looks. If you're still watching, thanks for watching all this time. Here it is. It's called Mike in the Night. This Wednesday is Trends in the Housing Market, where we talk about housing from all over. And we do talk about Seattle. We talk about California. We talk about the exodus going into Salt Lake City, Utah, Arizona. We talk about the changes in Florida. We bring it up if you're watching this in America. But here it is. This is Mike in the Night, World Shutdown. I like this Mike in the Night right here.
Isn't it interesting that the people in Africa aren't being affected, but non-native English people or British people are being affected? Strange. So I'd like to have had COVID. I don't think it's a big deal. Communism doesn't create. It takes what's there and then destroys it, sucks it dry.
So you want to call into this show. It's called Mike in the Night. If I get call-ins if you want to be part of it. And please, don't forget to subscribe, set your reminders, and be part of the channel for as long as they allow it to keep this day up. Thanks for watching, guys. Big hug to everybody. Stay strong. Share this video. Lots of love.